So this Minecraft server has been running for well over 3 years now, and with a new Minecraft update right around the corner, it's time to start thinking about what comes after. No spoilers, but a new season is not too far away. But back to the here and now, it means we have to start thinking about making your lives easier once you get your hands on the world download. After all, who wouldn't want to play in this absolutely awesome world? So you might now be saying, well, Ting, what do you have in mind? And well, I'm thinking of a bridge between the mortal and the divine. A dragon to assist us into the afterlife. Get it? We're on the Afterlife server and we're going to the next afterlife? Get it? Get it? Nah? Okay. Even as far back as Afterlife Season 3, we've had a mausoleum where we store everyone's inventory and our ender chest so that you can see exactly what each and every one of us does when we play Minecraft. Of course, no one will ever even come close to my absolute superiority when it comes to inventory and my beautifully organized ender chest. Now, you've probably already seen a thumbnail for this video, so you might have a general idea of what we're building, but first, we have to actually go and get the resources needed for it all. The largest building material of which is a whole lot of prismarine. It's cool, its color changes with time, and it actually looks pretty darn scaly. So let's pop over to this ocean monument and just start mining. JK, we're not in the Stone Age. Instead, we can fly over to this beautiful prismarine farm that KB made that makes our lives a heck of a lot easier. As you can see, KB had all of these separated so that we can get both prismarine and the dark prismarine variant, which we will also be needing for our dragon. Okay, now that we have all the prismarine we need, we can pick up some birch planks from our own woods reserves, and that should complete the main body of our guardian dragon. But of course, we also have to think about all the blocks we'll be using for our details. Blocks like quartz blocks, nether wart blocks, and some soul soil. Alright, so we now have everything we need to build our build, and as you can see, it really isn't all that much. 3 shulker boxes of material, which thanks to our farms, really wasn't all that hard to get. So I guess the next thing we have to do is to decide where exactly we want to build this thing. Now, I definitely wanted to be in this general area around spawn and the shopping district, and I was thinking of putting it atop this mountain range, but this big island kinda blocks it, so that's a no-go. Instead, I'm thinking we could use this spot right here. It's right by town hall, it's a stone's throw away from the shopping district, and it's easily accessible from where you guys would spawn if you were to get the world download. So I guess the next thing we ought to do is, well, to get started. Alright, so you might be wondering why I went with the aesthetics of an Asian dragon and not one from the West, and the reason is quite simple. Dragons in the East were revered. They were not these monsters that brought forth fire and ruin that were to be slayed for the gold that they hoarded or anything like that. The serpentine dragon in many Asian cultures weaved the life into the fields below. They're considered these like wise beings that brought balance to the seasons and were in harmony with humans. They teach us that true power lies in balance, not brute force. I actually remember that while on holiday in China, my family and I went to the Forbidden Palace in Beijing, and there I learned an interesting fact. So in robes or porcelain vases, only the emperor could have a dragon with 5 claws, opposed to the 3 or sometimes 4. And any commoner that was found to have some drawing or the like with 5 claws could actually be tried for treason. So yeah, I mean, there's a bit of a random fact for you guys. Okay, so enough of me blabbering about, because we now have the completed dragon on the server looking absolutely majestic. I'm really happy with how it looks, and the best part is that it looks great from all the different angles. I have to say, I'm very glad with our build. Alright, so we've built the dragon, but that's only half of what we want to build. So you really want to stick around to see what we do with the actual mausoleum. So I have a couple of cool ideas, and as you can see, we pretty much have all the resources we'll be needing. So I guess the only thing left to do is to actually start digging. Alright, so as you can see, the main body and where we're going to have the chests are going to be underground in this large kind of a cavern. It's decently sized and should provide ample room for all our bodies and whatnot. Okay, cool, so this is what we now have and we'll be working with. Even though I have placed a bunch of torches to prevent mob spawning, I think you're gonna love the end result, because we're basically going to try to make it about as gloomy as we can without having mobs spawning on us. So as you can see, we just went ahead and replaced all the inner walls and flooring with our deep slate to really set the mood, and made a beautiful central pool. After that, it really was just finishing off all the rest of the details. Okie dokie, so I've gone ahead and pretty much finished up the mausoleum. So why don't we check it out? So this is the entrance, very cool, and also a bit more menacing than I really wanted it to look, but nonetheless, I think it looks fantastic. I will say though, this is just over 2 stacks of gilded blackstone, something that all the way back at the beginning, when we all went to the Nether together, I went about collecting anytime we went into a bastion. And I'm really thankful I did, because getting this stuff is a bit of a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so jumping in, we have the completed mausoleum. It's gloomy, it's dark, and it's apt place for our final rest. And yeah, basically what we have is going to be our inventories in this left chest over here, our armor on the armor stand over here, and then the contents of our ender chest in the chest on the right. And throughout this cavern, you'll find that there are more than enough chests for all of us members to put our stuff in. Now, I want to show you some cool stuff. So we have these kind of ionic pillars holding up the roof, and I think they look pretty cool. But we're also using them as our lighting source as well. In case you didn't know, ender chests actually give off a tiny bit of light. Just enough light so that I don't have to spam lichen all over the place. So yeah, there's a bit of a tip for anyone to replicate this kind of gloomy feeling. Now, the other thing I want to show you are these 4 monuments or statues, or bits of artwork. So I built them to kind of commemorate some key events that happened on the server. So over here we have the mayor race that we had on the server, whereby Jay won the mayorship. Though I still suspect to this day a bit of collusion between him and the big business lobby. Over here we have the Golden Future Monument to commemorate when Ash and I tried to convert the currency on the server to gold with a bit of a mixed success. But the ensuing chaos did lead to some pretty funny moments. If we jump on this way, we have the Light versus Dark Monument when KB decided to sow division and the entire server was split into the dark or the light side. It was pretty fun overall and we all had a great time, to be completely honest. And finally, we have a monument to the UHC swap events that we host, where we play a variant of Ultra Hardcore, but our beloved coder Hubone made it so that anytime you take non-player damage, you switch places with someone else on a different team. It's super fun, and last time we played, my team actually got stuck in the Nether and we had to take some fall damage in order to jump with people that were not in the Nether. Super fun stuff. For a final Easter egg, I have gone ahead and written some of my feelings in this book over here. So if you want to read it, well, I guess you're just going to have to head over to the Discord and get the world download whenever that comes out. So yeah, there we go guys. A beautiful resting place for us all once the end rolls around. I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Tinkfro, and thank you very much for watching.